cap table or a capitalization table is a spreadsheet that reflects the ownership of your company. So it's going to track all of the outstanding common stock, preferred stock, any stock options that have been issued, and any convertible notes that have been issued. And it's an extremely important document for ensuring that future investors have something to look at that will accurately reflect what the actual state of the ownership is of the company. And a capitalization table can also be used to forecast the impact of future financing rounds on how diluted the current shareholders' positions will become as a result of taking on investments from third parties. So there are 4 types of ownership that a cap table is going to reflect. And the first is common stock. And common stock is going to be held by the founders and some of the first key employees and even some of their advisors in the company. And common stock will typically hold voting rights as well, though not always. The second class of ownership that's going to be tracked by a cap table are stock options. Stock options are a right to purchase shares in the company at a future point in time at a strike or an exercise price that is going to be lower than the actual value of the shares. So the person who holds a stock option is going to be receiving a significant discount on their purchase of the shares. And stock options can be really useful for incentivizing some of those early employees and contractors of the company to stick with the company for a long time and to give them something in lieu of a base salary, because many startups, of course, pre-revenue companies don't have a lot of access to capital, and so stock options can be a way of providing compensation that will allow you to attract and retain that talent. So the third class of ownership that is going to be tracked by a cap table is preferred shares or preferred stock. And preferred shares are essentially, they're like common shares, except they have certain preferential rights. The most important of which is that the holders of preferential shares will get paid out first. So if there's a liquidity event, or if the company is dissolved, if the company fails, then the holders of preferred shares are going to get paid out in preference to any other holder of any other type of share, including the founders who hold the common shares. So typically investors are going to insist that they receive preferred stock. The fourth type of ownership that is going to be tracked in a cap table are convertible notes. And convertible notes are a debt instrument that can convert at a later point in time into shares of the company. So how it works is somebody will put up, say, $100,000. Rather than that person receiving shares in the company at that point in time, they will receive a note. And that note entitles them to convert the value of that investment, that $100,000, into shares in the company at a later point in time, typically at the maturity date of the loan. So convertible notes usually have anywhere from a 1 to a 5-year term. So at the maturity date of the loan, it can be converted into equity in the company. The notes could also convert at an earlier point in time if the company receives another financing round or if there's a liquidity event where the company is sold. The benefits of convertible notes are that for founders, it allows them to defer the issuance of shares in the company to a later point in time, so deferring that dilution event. And it also permits the founders to put off the valuation of the company into a later point. For many pre-revenue companies, it can be very difficult to actually ascertain what the value of the company is. So this allows them to actually get some more traction, get the business going, and then assign a value for the company at that point. And the benefits for the holders of the convertible notes are that it allows them to become involved in the company and receive a discount on their purchase of shares at a future point in time. So it's essential that convertible notes appear in your cap table because investors are going to want to know who is holding what amount of convertible notes, because those notes are likely going to convert into shares in the company at the point in time when those investors make their investment. So if you have any other questions about cap tables, please feel free to reach out or drop a comment below. Thanks for watching.